with that being said, like, talking about the coaching, and you coach for a while, and then you learn, on the job. How did the opportunity arise to like be owning or running a gym? Like, how was that come up? When did you realize, okay, this is what I want to do as an option or a career or a side business or whatever? Like, talk about that whole transition of like, oh shit, I'm running a gym now.
Yeah, so that's exactly what my reaction was, actually.
Yeah.
So two parts to that. One, I knew that I wanted to continue to do this when I set the other job aside.
Mhm.
When I was like, okay, I'm going full in here. I've already made this commitment, and I set that aside because I screwed this up now, and now I got to look for something normal.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? As far as what it was like starting to run a program, it was a blink of an eye. It really was, because the first opportunity I got to be in charge of a program was when my instructor, Sean, took off to Kuwait. He was military too. He took off to Kuwait. He's like, hey man, I'm out of here soon. Here I am, a blue belt with a stripe, assistant kids program. And next thing I know, I'm turning around and getting a purple belt and a key to a gym and a program full of kids and a few adults. And I'm like,
Oh, damn.
yeah, exactly. It's one of the things where it's like, okay, day before yesterday, because we did Monday, Wednesday, we only did a few classes a week. And so, let's say he took off on Monday, could have been a Wednesday, I don't remember, so long ago. But let's say he takes off on a Monday. By the time I come back to class, he's not there.
Yeah.
It's me standing there out front, bowing these kids in by myself. I turn around and Sean's not there anymore. So I'm like, well, I guess I got to make this work now. You know what I mean? And so I kept doing with that. And, my original plan was to, at that point, I still wasn't fully committed to being a coach. I still had that other job that I was applying for and still had it in mind. And it was at that time that I was like, okay, I need to make a choice. And the choice I was about to make was to get these kids trained up a little bit, get a little bit of training in for myself, and then continue to go through the hiring process for the job that I was going at. And as I was making that decision, people just started showing up. I felt that it was a real big challenge being a brand new purple belt at a really small school that was surrounded by brown and black belts. For the exception of Cristobal, actually. We were like the only two guys that were running a program by ourselves as purple belts. We had two different programs where he had his 10th planet and no gi only, and I had the gi and no gi. But it was still a challenge. I know, at least for me, I can't speak for him. I'm going to assume it was a challenge because you're a purple belt. People are Googling schools when they're coming into town, and people are passing by schools. And yeah, a cool affiliation came up because at the time I was Helson before I went to Joker, before I changed it over. And there are guys that are much higher ranked than us running schools.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially with me being brand new. So it was at that time that I was like, you know what? People started showing up. People started staying. People started being interested in what I had to teach and how I taught. And I was like, okay, this is the smoother road. This seems like it's lining into place. And that was just another piece.
Yeah.
And then I did that for 8 years. And then I got reintroduced to owning a school when I partnered with a friend of mine, Matt, here. It was one of those things where he had asked me a few times in the past, and originally he just kind of wanted something to be able to go to at his own free will and be able to train. Then he asked me if I would give him a hand with that. And through talks and conversations, it came down to that we were going to make it a business.
Nice.
That I was eventually going to take over when he took off to Germany. He was also a soldier. So I got reintroduced to being a business owner and an academy owner. And again, it was still one of those things where it's like, okay, I got a lot of experience with this.
Yeah.
But it still felt new.
Yeah.
Because it was different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had like the whole jiu-jitsu thing and one thing, and then all of a sudden you're a business owner.
Yeah.
Now you're overhead, facility, things like that. Because that comes with it too. It's just like, yeah, you're an instructor, you're running an academy and things like that. And on top of that, you gotta keep the lights on. Make sure people keep like the quality of product as yourself and the gym that you're running to keep people coming and wanting to train here and keep it open. Because I mean, how many businesses or how many gyms, not just jiu-jitsu, will open for a year and then they close?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just like it takes like, oh, they have the knowledge, but they didn't have the owner stuff. Or now they had all the owner stuff, but they didn't have the experience. And with you, it seems like you got both that are just working in hand in hand to where.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. It's great to see. Like, I know that there was one portion, and because I was following you guys for like a year before coming. I was like,
okay.
I can't wait. Because it was like one part. And then you guys are opening up. And I saw the pictures. You guys opened up. I was like, holy shit. This is like a legit. Because I was going to other places that were around here. But I called back. Oh, they're not running tonight or not doing this. And that's why I ended up just going to the east side. I was like, I'm looking for a place that's not going to close.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that was established. And by then, we're talking, near past here. Chris had been open for a very long time, running a very successful program. On top of having successful tournaments and events, and everybody knows Chris Foley.
Yeah.